heading to the west in basically the same party order. Thorad, you line up at the door, and you can see a group of beaten down humans and half orcs that are, or not humans and half orcs, but like half orcs and dwarves that are kind of shoveling stuff into a pit in the next room within your dark vision sight. There's a gentle light that is drifting around in that room, but it's not near as bright as the torches in this one.
Are they chained or tied to anything?
You go and give me your perception check.
15 my die roll. Let me just double check my stat. My perception? Ooh, that's an 18.
You take a look, and yes, they definitely seem to be tied to each other. They have a rope around their necks that are tied to each other.
Start whacking apart the rope to free them.
So you're going to approach, because like I said, this is from where you're just looking down that hallway before you guys went in.
I will absolutely
approach. Do we see anybody that might be tending to these people?
Not at the moment.
I will definitely approach. And then I will try and start basically
you must set them
lines.
Free!
Freedom!
Death, murder, death!
And if I'm able to cut any
run
lines,
at them with a knife raised. I will free you. Oh no.
If I'm able to if I'm able to get to any of them and free any of them, I will call out in Dwarven, to arms.
Right. You move in down the hallway, and you're about they've been shoveling stuff into this large sinkhole that takes up a good portion of the room here. You can see that there is an individual comes into your line of sight as you move in that is obviously similarly armed and armored, similar to the 6 people that you guys just murdered brutally. Since you aren't very good at stealth, he takes notice of you as well. The 2 people that are currently shoveling stuff that's kind of just deposited around the edges of the pit are definitely seem to be cowed both by you and him.
Okay. I as a reminder, apparently I'm covered kind of in some of the bad guys blood. So yeah, I'm kind of a mess right now. I will.
And did you get that lay on hands that Kanananon gave you?
Mm-hmm. I'm full again.
Cool.
None of this blood is mine. Thank you again, Kanananon.
Alice,
mm-hmm.
The rule is you break it, you bought it. So it's now all your blood.
Oh, okay. Now all my blood. Got it. So, speaking of which, how close is this new target?
He's about 25 feet away from you.
Oh, so I will
on the other side of the pit.
Okay.
There is passages you can walk around the pit, just to be
okay.
clear.
So how much of a move?
You want to throw your
to...
initiative?
Yeah, happy to. I rolled it for us last time, so you said me, so I rolled a 7.
Okay. What's your mod?
2.
Or is that modded?
That's before mod, so 9. I didn't know if we were just doing flat
cool.
die earlier, so.
No. Whoever's rolling gets to add their mods. You win because of your modifier.
Awesome.
So he, he's just kind of like, watching them leaning up against the wall, notices that you guys coming, and kind of gets this shocked, worried look on his face. He knows that there's like 6 guys in the next room, and jerks up off the wall and starts moving. You have the initiative. Like I say, he's 25 feet away.
Sure, I will close that 25 feet and I will attack him. I have initiative, so he hasn't acted yet. Are you going to give me advantage?
No, he is aware of you. You weren't able to successfully sneak. Go ahead and roll me a dexterity save as you quickly move up towards him.
Dexterity save? Okay, I do have athletics. I'm pretty good at that.
Okay.
Dexterity save is a 15.
A 15. As you're moving by the pit and the detritus that is there, your boots slip and skid a little bit, but you're able to plant yourself and continue pushing off able to power through it with your sturdy dwarven legs before getting up to him.
I just got a nat 20. I got a nat 20. 7 plus 9 plus 6, because I'm two-handing it. So that's 15, that's 22.
That is an ex-guard that is there. However, Thorad, you run up and pin him to the wall with your axe, ensuring that he won't get the drop on you guys. You move up and you can see there's once again a mining track that leads most of the way to the pit, but not all the way, which is kind of the reason that they have to dump stuff and then shovel it into the pit. And down at the other end of the track, you see that there are 3 more people that are armed and armored, and that they become aware of you as you move quickly through,
Okay.
ending this guy's life.
I'll chuck this guy's head at them. Because based on the description of the way that I pinned him, it sounds like his head and his rest of his body just separated. So I'll take the head by the hair and I will chuck it at those 3 guys. You want some of this?
Go ahead and give me your attack roll with a ranged weapon.
Sure thing. This is plus 4, 21.
21. You can thump it where you want to thump it. Where are we dropping this?
I will thump it off of one of their chests.
Okay. You grab the head, chuck it at them to make certain that they're fully aware that you're in here slaughtering them at a moment's notice. And they all seem taken aback, or the 2 in the front really seem taken aback for a moment. And then the older one behind them says, "Let not this one concern you. He is strong, and he will make an excellent slave." You guys, the rest of you have initiative at this point. Thorad has already used his.
Mm-hmm.
I want to use Mage Hand to go and grab the severed head and start carrying it around in the faces of the bad guys to demoralize them and hopefully give them disadvantage on their attacks.
Okay.
As this floating head of their friend who they had breakfast with that morning, who they've been sharing meals with and probably sleeping quarters, who they probably know his personal life, he's now dead and headless, and I'm gonna throw it in their face, and maybe even drops of blood coming out of the head will splatter on them and
anoint them a little bit.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get them off their game, which hopefully will. I'm hoping it'll equate to disadvantage on their attacks next time.
Sure. I'm gonna call for 2 things here. First, as you're gonna need to move around that pit to get there, you're gonna have to make that dexterity check.
Okay, I roll a 12, but let me see.
That's fine. You are doing
and
good.
And dexterity is plus 2, so 14 total.
Yep. So you have that same thing that your feet skid and slip a little bit, but you know what, Krieg? You're used to moving when the ground won't support you. That's your like default walking around, is the ground slipping away from you. So you are able to power through that without a single worry in the world. You get there and cast your mage hand, pick up the head, and just kind of have it jauntily bouncing at them, anointing what's left of the spinal cord, just kind of doing a little sing-song back and forth as it leaks out from inside the skull. And do you have any good social skills here? You have persuasion. I will let you use your persuasion.
I'll be intimidating at the same time here. That's going to be my action.
Sure.
I'm going to pull out my pan flute to the tune of "Taking Care of Business" as I.
So, do you want me to do a persuasion roll?
Yeah. Why don't you go ahead and do the persuasion roll? Kanan, go ahead and give me that same dex save. And Gidney apparently is going to put pan flute up to taking care of business.
Okay.
Persuasion was a nat 20 with the +4 bonus is a 24.
Okay.
I'm not necessarily moving forward. I'm just going to go and do an intimidate and say,
Oh, they're like around a corner and such. Because remember, not Kananan, Thorad didn't even see them until he had moved past the pit.
Got it. So I'll go ahead and start moving past the pit then, and it's at 10 plus whatever. So it's a dex save. Oh, 10 plus 2, so 12.
12. You are doing okay. You are able to move up. The three of you are kind of grouped up there. And what are you doing for your intimidation here?
I'll say I'm going to say, throw down your weapons now. We're done. There's been enough death for one day. Don't add to our death count.
I stopped playing for just a moment. Death!
As Krieg goes,
go back to play.
As Krieg with Mage Hand holding the head goes, ooga booga booga booga.
You should do kind of a mic drop. As the head just thumps against the ground, goes thump, 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 thump.
Okay.
It's more than one way to do diplomacy.
Go ahead and give me your intimidation there, Kanananon.
An 11. Hold on, let's see what we got going. 11 plus 3, so 14.
Krieg, by all means, with his dancing ex-friend, is doing a bit more of the heavy lifting here. But all three of them are just shocked and horrified, and despite the one in the back insisting that they can all, that Thorad will make a powerful slave, they all just kind of stand there, uncertain what to do at the moment. As you guys, none of them throw down their weapons during this. They all lose their initiative at looking at this horrific sight, and I think that Krieg had inspiration already, but if not, I would have given it to him with his floating head. Let's go ahead and roll initiative. Who's next on your lineup, folks?
I think we're back to Steven.
I'll go ahead and roll.
Sure.
10 plus 2 is 12.
Okay, they've got initiative. So after they lose a round, the older one that's in the robe, he calls out to the slaves. We will double portions for anyone that can push them in the pit. The two of the slaves that are really close to you kind of look at each other, look at you guys, and then they just kind of back away from this, not wanting a piece. And beatings for anyone that does not help. You can see those of you with that have line of sight, so not Gidney, can see that there's some slaves behind them that, despite the man's words, aren't at this point mustered into action against obviously armed, armored, and murderous intruders into these cave systems.
And I did call out to them that 2 arms that we're here to free them, so hopefully that's helped a little bit.
Yeah, I'm going to yell out, you've made a poor choice.
You've chosen poorly.
Death, murder, kill!
I'm worried about Gidney. I'm worried about Gidney's sanity here.
I'm worried that you think there is sanity with Gidney.
Don't worry about Giddy, he's fine.
Gidney!
Death, murder, kill. Running around saying that is kind of dangerous there, buddy. Oh.
I'm fairly confident this is a game.
It's freedom of speech, you know. The older man, since no one seems to be complying, utters out a few words, touches himself, and then the guards begin to move up to engage you guys. Do you get an attack of op type thing, Kanananon, as they move up to you?
He does. It's called a
I never know.
reaction in this game. It's called a reaction. Cool. He gets an attack of op.
So you get a single shot at one of these guys.
Okay.
I have a spell that prevents them from taking attacks of op.
17 plus 5, so that's a solid.
That's a big hit.
Yeah.
You know, you guys seem to roll like utter garbage on like initiative a lot of times and some of that other random stuff, but every time I'm asking for hits, it seems like it's, always 16 and up.
Well, it draws them in. They have to do their movement action.
Yep. False sense of security for the GM. These guys are rolling terrible. I'll get them today.
So it's a solid hit that glances off. I rolled a 1 plus 3 is 4. So it's it's. I caught him as he was going by.
Okay. Get a decent hit. Some damage better than no damage by all means. And these two, I'm going to put 1 on each of you for their attacks. They're both +5. I've got a 23 on Kanananon and a 10 on Thorad. So 23 is going to come in with 5 damage. Is that after you glance off of him, ripping open part of his leather armor, making his shoulder bleed, and his left side quickly begins to saturate with blood. But he's able to get in underneath your guard, past the swing of the glaive, and gets a blow in on you as well. And the slaves aren't taking any of the action at the moment, and so it is your guys' initiative at this point.
Okay.
So we can see all of them, to include the guy that was in the back who touched himself, like he was.
Yes, everybody but Gidney can see that.
I am interested in the charm person spell. Can I target that guy in the back?
Let me bring up charm person. You attempt to charm a humanoid you can see within range. 30 feet. He's going to be too far for 30-foot range.
Okay. Then what about sleep for all the bad guys?
Sleep, you can definitely, on the 2 that just engaged you guys in melee, or you can drop it on that one guy. He's got some slaves nearby him, but you think that you could probably drop it so it's only really affecting him by basically favoring your side rather than the side. The slaves are huddled to the far back, you can see.
Then I'll focus sleep on the guy in the far back.
Okay. Let's get our 5d8.
Go.
Much better this time. Okay. 8 and 7 is 15.
Nice.
The 3 and the 2 will bring that to 20, and then the 4, so 24.
Very, very nice. And yes, a whole lot better. You'd have totally changed the way that last fight played out. And he is calling out to you guys, continuing his diatribe against you, and he goes, "If none of you will help, Thor and Croblin will have their boom," and just passes out as he continues on. Seeing him go out and these 2 engaged with you, the huddled slaves in the back fall upon this guy. They pull his dagger out of his belt, begin stabbing him, beating him with a rock. You have about 10 people that are just utterly destroying this guy that has apparently been one of the supervisors for their imprisonment.
Krieg is whispering, "Yes, entrails. Pull the entrails."
Death, murder, kill!
Aye, Thorad, Kanananon, Gidney, who's up?
I'm going to start cutting people loose, and I just realized I made a minor mistake earlier, but I haven't used any of the spells. I only get 2 presties, so I've corrected my 2 presties.
You're currently engaged by 2 people.
Oh, I do have 2 people. I thought that these 2 were done. Okay, I will.
No. He did it on the guy in the back.
Okay. Do I have advantage? Is anyone else engaged with me?
Kanananon is engaged with them.
Awesome. I will utilize this advantage and whack somebody. Hey, look, I've got a 19 on one and 7 on the other, so I do hit. And D10 plus 6. Not gonna jinx myself. 15 damage.
15 damage. That is noteworthy and high. And what does the last moments of this individual's life look like, Alice?
The last thing he sees is a blade coming at his face. The side of the blade, and then it turns and it flips and it goes straight at his nose. That's the last thing he sees. Oh, and it's, and I haven't had a chance to clean the blade since the last person I hit, so that's not exactly a clean blade going at him.
You're gonna end him with a filthy blade.
Uh-huh.
In the spirit world, they're all gonna look at him and go, "You died to a dirty blade."
Yep.
They're gonna make fun of him, Alice,
I know.
at kindergarten for the afterlife.
Mm-hmm.
Aye. Yes, you are able to separate his nose from his face from his skull, and his skull from his body with some masterful Ginsu work with your battle axe.
Awesome. I'm done.
Kanananan or Gidney.
I changed my song to Kung Fu Fighting after a romping round of death, murder, kill.
Everybody was kung fu fighting. I love that song.
Good song.
Gidney needs to obviously multi-class as Bard. I am seeing.
What's the goal?
Kanananan, you are up.
Well, it looks like there's only one other person up.
Yep.
I'm going to give him one opportunity. Stop.
What a nice paladin.
Stop or drop.
Having been given the opportunity, he does not stop. He chucks his sword away from him. His whip is still at his side, but he puts his hands up.
So I'm going to then turn to the slaves and say, tie him up. As Thor starts going and working on releasing them.
Give me your persuasion or your intimidate, depending on what your chosen method of giving that directive is.
So it's an intimidate. So it's a 16 on the die, and another +3. So it's a 19.
They, by all means, follow that, and they do not quickly end him as they did the other person. In the back of the room here, which it's not just a room; it's a fairly long cavern that Thorad was able to see with dark vision, and there was a couple of torches down at the end. But they had people working at the excavation for whatever they are trying to gather up while they are here. And so there was about 10 slaves gathered up in that far alcove to the north. The area of the room that you're in has that pit that they have been discarding a bunch of the garbage down that they don't need. To the south of you, there is a door built into the cavern wall, and on the way of the slaves, the passage opens up to the right or the east, which, based on Thorad's thoughts, just looking at it, would mean that it would probably link almost immediately back to that passage, the north passage leading out of the last room.
Okay.
So once we have this guy tied up, I presume there's not any other action happening other than these former slaves.
These free men?
Freemen, exactly. That's a good word for them. I'd like to go and question the guy and ask him about. So tell me about Ictorin and Kramen.
And the slavers.
You can start with Ictorin. You have 2 minutes.
While they're doing that, I'm going to go play with the entrails.
Okay.
I'll bring the severed head over next to him so he has something to look at as he answers the paladin's questions.
Question.
Icthor, he is follows the master. He's has magic. He said that we would work and to keep other people with us, like is the way that this is the way. And
you call this to be work. Are you working or are they working?
that's the way, is that some will supervise, while others will work for them. And so Icthor, he started this with Cromlin, and they Icthor's in charge. He has the magic, like I said. When sometimes the slaves work here, Sometimes we sell them. What else? No. He
We're
seems
going
very
Icthor.
scared at the moment.
So Icthorin is in charge. What about Kramen?
Oh, don't. Icthor scares me for next life. Cromlin scares me this life. He big, he strong. You not want to mess around with Cromlin. He's smart and he's got good position with the master.
So where can I find this Icthorin and Kramen?
Uh, I think they in the chapel. He points to the door to the south.
All right.
I don't
exactly
like.
what I was looking for.
I don't like go there.
Is that by chance left?
That's south of you guys.
So as we came into the room, is that a left or a right?
Yes, that is a left. So yes, Thorad is so on for the best way to approach something.
So I point at Thorin and say, "Looks like we go left."
Told you it was the right way to go. My
Come on,
papa
Biggie.
taught me well.
I hop up and I smear the intro blood all over my face. Death, murder, kill!
Alice and Thorad, you're reminded of that far more innocent gnome that you ran into on the road.
I've seen some stuff today.
Right? Yeah, you're going native like you see in some movies.
Snob, man. Just wanted to ride a horse.
I'm also reminded of the story of this this halfling that reminds me of a lot of Gidney suddenly, or Gidney reminds me a lot of that my father used to tell me stories of. Oh
That's
dear.
scary. Your father told stories of Pex.
The
Mm.
guy, the
Nico.
the sergeant that I sleeped, and then the slaves killed him. I want to go and check his remains and see if there's anything of noteworthiness to collect. Any daggers, gold, or does he have any magical items on him? Scrolls or anything.
He does have a dagger that the slaves pulled off of him quickly, and began to cut themselves loose after they ended the threat of the sleeping slaver. What was your question here, Pex?
I'm guessing I didn't find anything in the entrails.
No, there's entrails in the entrails.
When he starts
Kidney stones.
if he starts licking toads, then I know he's gone full Miko. But I'm starting to seriously see a lot of correlation between Gidney and Miko right now. I'm kind of concerned.
As for
I become cross. Just
he's
kill them all.
Killed slavers.
As for the items on him, he had a whip and he had a club. Those, as well as the dagger, have been quickly distributed among the stronger of the slaves. They look at you guys, not quite certain, if you're people that they should trust or simply, the new people who are running the operation right now.
Hey, if you head that way, you can get out.
I'm going to let them know that we're from Tent City and that they are free to go or they can follow.
Oh, thank God. We're free? I don't know where we are, but it's been
So that way,
horrible down here.
A right and a right, and you're fine, because we went left.
Wait, and if you wait nearby, when we're done in here, we'll take you back to Tent City.
They begin to stream out, thanking you guys. I'm
gonna make sure
all of them.
I'm gonna make sure that they leave armed. So basically, their picks, their daggers, and whatnot. I'm gonna make sure that they're leaving with that. If anyone looks like they're using a pick that's a little too dulled, I'm gonna see about picking another one up or giving a quick sharpening. That way, they can defend themselves.
They all thank you guys, offering hugs to everyone but the blood-covered Gidney, who is anointing himself and yelling "murder, death, kill" a lot.
Yeah.
I asked them if they can please take this other gentleman back to the authorities.
You don't think that they would know how to get out of the woods here, but they, by all means, don't really want to wait in the cave any longer.
They're all
It
gonna
would be
die.
it would be better to
I've done
breathe
my-
the air outside than to stay here any longer.
I've done my
Say
part.
goodbye to
And I-
shoot 'em like little children already.
Yeah. Okay. I mean,
But
either
yeah, they can take him.
he can be hogtied here, and we'll come back for him, or they can go and take him out with them, and we'll go and catch up with him, because I can't imagine that a whole herd of former slaves are going to be difficult to track.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, they're gonna head out. And they will take that guy with them. They by all means, as they are walking out, they are like, "Oh, Tasman, if you get one bit out of line," and then they just kind of thump whatever weapon they've got and such. So,
I tell him he better be alive when I come back outside.
and they seem to definitely be a bit afraid of you with the intimidate that you made at them and such. So, you have a feeling that they will obey that kind of command.
You will obey.
Okay.
Okay.
So, what are you guys up to at that point?
We continue down into that
Door.
chapel, that door and the chapel that we were directed towards. Continue left. Apparently that's the correct
Okay.
direction.
Cracks me up.
Playing my pan flute.
Well, you know those stories that I said my character tells? They're all about these exploits that his father told him about. And seriously, Brandon, like, all I can think of is Gidney as Miko right now after that, since that is someone from Arterix's life.
Yeah.
Yep. Arterix from Arterix's life. And I'm just imagining the story about, one time, my father was out in the forest with his party, with his team of adventurers, and this little halfling they call Miko, he fell asleep. There was some puddle in the water. And when he was woken up, Miko said, "Autumn, I'm wet again." The more Gidney continues with this, the more it sounds like this halfling my father used to talk about.
Not halfling. No.
Same thing.
No.
Shut
You
up,
take it back. You take it back.
Giddy.
Gidney.
Down, boy. Sit.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Hold on. A half orc is making him into a pet. Brandon, this is
Rule number 1, Alice. Rule number 1. No asthma.
understood.
I jump on the half work at this time and attempt to bite him.
Kanan. I also heard
Fighting you back.
This is going on and very badly, but I don't care.
Kanan. I should
We're
also
gonna
tell you that
with
halfling.
and Ramen coming out and just laughing at us.
I hope you get a disease.
A bloodborne pathogen. Gidney might have a few of those right now.
And I should also tell you that my father told of this really stupid half-orc that ended up making that halfling his pet.
Heal.
So, what do I need to roll to jump on him and bite him?
Oh my gosh.
You can go ahead and roll a d20 with a +1, which is your strength negative with your proficiency modifier.
17.
Oh my gosh.
On and on.
I'm going to fling him down.
Does the 17 hit?
Probably. I've got a 12 AC.
You got a 12 AC? Aren't you wearing armor?
No, I haven't. Well, hold on. I must not have. Hold, please.
He forgot to put his armor on this morning. He is a 9
I
int
didn't have
half
my
orc
armor.
after
Shoot.
all.
I had chainmail.
He's a 9 int half orc after all. He just forgot to put his armor on this morning.
No, I only added my weapons to the character sheet
Mm.
when I went and copied it over from earlier when we were having technical difficulties.
So 16 is the base AC with that.
Yeah, so 16.
You are going to get a disease.
Only if you're lucky.
Let's not talk about getting lucky as Gidney uses his oral skills on you. Gidney bites you for 1 point of painful damage.
I file my teeth.
Of course.
Oh dear.
I can't imagine you doing anything different.
Oh dear. This is the definition of a psychopath, everybody. I learned
You
it.
started it.
Be careful, Alice, or he might scream gnome at you and then charge you with his teeth again.
Well, I've got a higher AC, so I'm a little more protected. You two want to break it up and go kill the cultist and the slavers?
We're gonna find ourselves a room.
Death, murder, kill.
I can just picture Kidney saying that on Kanan's back right now.
I'm biting to death. 1 hit point at a time.
I'm going to intimidate and say that he has one chance to get off before I go and throw him in the pit.
X is a little bit of a psychopath. Or sociopath. I'm not sure which
You
one.
guys did let me sleep. You had this coming.
Giddy?
The player or the character?
Kidney. No, my character. You guys woke him up when he was trying to take a nap.
I think there might be real life bleed into this.
Yeah, you need to stop playing out of character.
Okay, so we head to the door, Brandon. I hear there's a door we want to go to.
There is a door to the south. You guys line up at it and open it up. It's a narrow hallway with stairs leading down. On either side, there are chains from the ceiling with hands at the end of the chains. These look like the hands of working people that have been taken and attached and hung here.
Can this be your new home?
No.
No, that's just creepy. Stop it.
Oh. Pull out my pan flute.
Do we see anything in here?
The passageway moves down, and Thorad, you hear soft chanting coming from deeper in.
Chanting that way. Let's go get him. I'm gonna actually cut down these hands that are hung as I'm going through, but I'm not gonna really stop to cut all of them down. I'm just, any that are nearby, I'm gonna cut them down, take apart this terrible, just a sight, this horrific sight.
Okay. You are cutting down and making a lot of noise as you go, and you see up ahead as you move into the hall that you have attracted attention of people deeper in. You see one man, tall, with a bald head, scars running across his face. Look, at you. From deeper past him is where the chanting was coming from, though it has at this point stopped. He looks at you. Well, what have we here? Some sort of raider come to put a stop to our operation? You look like you will be excellent for the first of a new batch of slaves.
Yeah, so did your 16 other friends that are all dead back there.
This one's on my face.
So, what have we here? Icterin or Kramen?
My name is Cromlin, and you are in far more trouble than you imagine. And Thorad, as you continue down the stairs, suddenly the hands begin to move all around you guys, reaching out to grasp at you. Thorad, Kanananon, and Krieg, you are all on the stairs, surrounded by these hands, just kind of reaching out at you. Giddy, you have not yet made it into the room. And let's go ahead and roll some initiative, everybody.
Sure, are we doing team versus team again, or are we doing more individual this time?
I'm totally fine. Team versus team is going to go a lot better,
Sure,
a lot
John,
faster.
I think it's your turn this time.
I think.
Who? Me?
Yeah, I think it was your turn. X is next after. And that'd be...
She's frightened to give Gidney any power right now. She's worried
So
about.
I have a +2, so it's modified to a 10.
Modified to a 10. I rolled a 10 modified up from there. So their side is going to go first.
Apparently, I should have nominated Gidney for this.
As always.
The claws are going to attack out at each one of you. So for Krieg, we're have an AC of 13. For Kanananon, we have an AC of 17. And for Thorad, we have a crit.
Ouch.
13 hits Krieg.
Okay. So,
me.
4 damage to Krieg, 6 damage to Kanananon. And for the second crit of the night, Thorad, we have 9 damage to you.
Okay, 9 damage. I will take it.
So I don't know what my current hit points were, because I don't know if this sheet was fully up to date or not.
Let me go pull you up. I know 2 of you were like barely injured, and then the other 2 of you were full. So let me put you guys back and see. Kanananon and Krieg, I both had down 2 hit points.
Well, I'm at 12 now, or down 12.
Okay.
So
you guys are pretty hurting.
Yes.
So I was just hit now. I don't know how much damage I took.
4.
Okay, so I've taken 6 now total.
Yep.
Okay. The chain with the hands, that's just in the stairway, right?
That is in the stairwell, yes.
So if we get down the stairway and into the room, we'll be away from the chain?
As far as you can see, yes. Though you're not certain if there's more in the room or not.
Oh, okay.
The individual with the bald head looks at you and says, "You have stepped into the chapel of the Master's power, and here you will bow to your superior." He pulls a bow off of his back and goes ahead and shoots at Thorad.
Hey Frog God fans, thank you so much for watching us today. Do you want to see more content? Make sure you subscribe and click that little bell button to be notified.
Don't forget to leave a comment about the content that you want to see on the channel. And if you want to keep up with Frog God Game releases, check out the links in the description below for Facebook, Twitter, and Discord.
And if you want to see more content from Brandon and myself, check us out on Babies with Knives podcast, where we focus on character creation, crash courses, and actual plays for a wide variety of tabletop role-playing games.
And everybody, remember, have fun in the pond.